From FedEx Forum and the American Home Shield Studio, this is The Odds Couple on GrindCityMedia.com. Handicapping all the football action, here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. Welcome to The Odds Couple. It is week 21.
Of what?
I don't know. And I knew you were going to ask.
21.
That's when we started actually. Welcome to The Odds Couple, by the way. Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker. When we basically had a long time off of the show because there were no sports. There was nothing to handicap. So there was a long time off. And when we started back up, that was week 1. So now we're at week 21, and now I just don't know when I'm going to end that. Because then I guess Super Bowl would be week 22, and then do I start over?
Super Bowl would be week 23. There's 2
I don't
weeks. 2 weeks in between, right?
At some point, we're going to start over
Pro Bowl.
our count. Yeah,
Are they having a Pro Bowl this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think there's a Pro Bowl.
I don't know. Haven't heard much about it.
It's Madden. It's Madden. Virtual.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's virtual. Yeah. It's Madden.
John Roser is here.
I am here.
Hello, John Roser.
Hello, Rob. Hello, Lang.
That means I might make the Pro
Bowl.
If it's on
Curtis
Madden.
Joseph.
Hello there, Johnny R.
That's right. CJ Hertz here as
What
well.
is happening?
For this edition of the Odds Couple. Good
Rob comes back and everything goes crazy.
We're off the rails already.
I mean, I have no control. Everything got lost last week. No, great to be back, and we're 4 teams now are left in the National Football League, and we're going to talk about these conference championships this weekend. We got a couple of great matchups. Lance Taylor's going to join us on the show as well, so we'll have our picks coming up. All of that coming up today here on the Odds Couple. What did we learn in the last week?
They are who we thought they were. I don't really think there's anything huge surprising last week.
No, there really wasn't.
We all kind of nailed it, I think, on our discussion last week.
Yeah, my picks didn't go so well, but I think the discussion, it was fairly the same. The Baltimore Ravens, if they can't run the ball, they if they get left to where they have to throw the ball. Now the wind was terrible in that game. I'll give them that. The wind was really bad. Josh Allen overthrew some stuff
keep
because
you from running the ball.
Yeah,
right? The wind has to be really bad.
No. Yeah, I know. But when that is shut down, you see the struggles that Lamar Jackson has. I tell you what we still learned. That Penny Hardaway's team, they can have 3 weeks off and they still can't cover a damn spread.
Which has been very interesting. And as we record this, the big one tonight that I'm kind of weird on. I don't know. It's such a small.
Oh, I've already hit it.
But you've already hit it.
Oh,
winner.
Wichita was it Wichita plus the 3, the under 139.5, and Wichita money line of it. So if this is the one the Tigers win outright and win by 10, so be it. But I know Memphis has lost to Tulsa twice, and I know that Wichita team just beat Tulsa by 20.
Well, I'll get to you in a second, CJ, but just kind of piggybacking on that, a couple of weeks ago I mentioned Drake basketball was the money winner in college basketball. They started the season 13-0, 12-0 against the spread. Unbelievable run. Well, they haven't played in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Every game has been postponed for the last 3 weeks for Drake. So now I'll go ahead and give you the other one. The Boise State Broncos are absolute money against the spread. Another big one this week where the line came up. They're finally starting to catch up with Boise State. The line was at 14.5. They still blew by that and won by 20. Boise State Broncos. There's your college basketball team to keep an eye on.
I'm looking to see when they play again.
Well, they played on Wednesday, so probably not until Monday or something. I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. CJ, what did you learn in the last week?
With Phillip Rivers' retirement, he was an excellent trash talker, and 2, he was really smart as a quarterback. That conversation or that story that J.J. Watt tells about him telling a linebacker pre-snap, hey, you're lined up in the wrong spot. You're supposed to be over here so you can blitz there. And he was right about that. Is wild to me.
Yeah. He had an unbelievable career. Hall of Famer, right?
I guess.
Just on numbers alone?
I feel like
fantasy Hall of Famer for sure.
I feel like he's in the Hall of really good players, but not. I don't consider him a great Do we consider him one of the greatest quarterbacks ever?
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, just look at his numbers, and he'll be in the Hall of Fame. I think the most impressive thing about his career was he never missed a start. Never.
That's pretty incredible.
I mean, never. And that includes playing an AFC Championship game on a torn ACL.
And that's having like 15 kids at home,
Yeah.
too.
I mean, that's...
It's only 9 kids.
It's only
Come on
9.
now.
Come on.
I have one kid, and I miss work about once a month because of him.
Oh, speaking. So one of like the favorite games you can play is you can like type in your birthday and Florida Man on Google.
Oh, I don't know this one.
Yeah, you type in your birthday and Florida Man, and there's always something that Florida Man did on your birthday somewhere in Florida because Florida just has crazy people. So Darren Ravel listed, because Phillip Rivers had 9 kids, the NFL players who have had the most kids, and obviously Antonio Cromartie's 1, Travis Henry's 2, Willis McGahee's 3, Chad Ochocinco is tied for 5th, all from the state of Florida.
Really?
Yeah, they're not wrapping up in Florida.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
well, you can get good odds on Florida.
On the field or off the field.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man. Well, we got the NFC Championship game, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Here's Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Packers, talking about getting here.
Oh, man. Talk about just pure joy running out of that tunnel. We've had a few hundred for a couple games, but it felt like 50,000 when we ran out of the tunnel. It really did. It was such a special moment. So happy for our guys. Definitely a little emotional. Just thinking about what we've been through. Got me emotional with the crowd out there today. I'm just still really happy about everything that happened tonight.
How much do you think the whole Jordan Love thing really plays into his season?
I don't think that much.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, I feel like that's probably motivation for a week or so.
It's a good story.
Yeah, but unless you're, he is in the quarterback room with that dude every day.
And he is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a little weird.
Yeah.
I think it probably has more to do with his second year in Matt LaFleur's system. I think it probably has a lot to do with that. I'll tell you, the one thing that he doesn't, because he always talks about his arm and his accuracy. That dude can just flick his wrist and the ball goes 60 yards and it's on a dime. He's quick. The fact that he's like 36, 37 years old, that guy could still move around and escape out of the pocket. One of those throws last week, he got away from the defense, got out there, and just threw the ball on a rope down the field.
I was going to say, I think that might be a big part of it, too, is he's healthy and his legs are healthy. It seems like every year there's a game where Aaron Rodgers would hurt his hamstring.
Yeah.
And then there's like 2 or 3 games where he's kind of limping around. He never misses games, but it would slow him down.
Yeah.
Now he can go. He can run. He's healthy. He can move. And I think that adds a whole nother dimension to what they're doing.
CJ?
What does this say about Mike McCarthy? Right, he leaves in the next 2 years. Their NFC Championship game, NFC Championship game. Like, this is a real bad indictment on him and his ability as a coach, I would think.
Yeah, probably. Green Bay 5-2 against the spread. Their last 7 against NFC teams. They are 5-2 against the spread. Last 7 overall. 5-0 against the spread at home against winning teams. 5-0 against the spread at home against teams with a winning road record. 8-2 against the spread their last 10 in January. 4-1 against the spread last 5 on a Sunday. And 4 of their last 5 against NFC South teams have gone under. They'll be taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their quarterback, Tom Brady. Here's Tom on moving on.
The defense was incredible all game. The turnovers were huge. Last time we played them, we gave, we lost a turnover, -3. Today was +4. You're not going to lose many games when you're +4. So just a great effort. They came up huge offensively. We made some plays when we needed to. Running game was great. Line protected great up front. Just a great week of prep. And, really proud of our team. We've worked really hard to get to this point, just like the other 3 teams remaining. So it's hard to get to this point. There's nothing guaranteed from this point forward, but, we got to go out there and we're going to have to play our very best to beat one of the best teams in the league.
Tampa's 3-7 against the spread. Their last 10 in January. However, they're 1-0 against the spread in January when Tom Brady is their quarterback. Also, 4 of their last 5 as an underdog have gone under. 4 of the last 5 against the NFC North have gone under. I'm feeling this week, ever since that game and watching how good Tom Brady was, and maybe it was because of how bad he made Drew Brees look as well, that I have trouble getting out of my mind, how can I not think this guy can get back to a Super Bowl?
I know we're going to talk about Drew Brees coming up here, so I'll lay off that. But I feel like it wasn't how good Tom Brady was. It was how bad the Saints were, especially offensively. Like, they couldn't move the ball. They couldn't throw it more than 15 yards downfield unless they ran the trick play. The guy who killed the Buccaneers last year, Jameis Winston, would have been the best option for the Saints at quarterback. So I felt like the Buccaneers were fine. They weren't terrible. And the Saints' defense was great all season, and the Buccaneers kind of carved them up. They looked okay. But I just felt like that was really kind of more an indictment on the Saints and Sean Payton than it was anything about how great the Bucs were to me.
Kimball, do you have that graphic again of Tom Brady that you just played? Can we just pull up the graphic? If you have the graphic, can we see the graphic? I just want to see the graphic of him, because that is not Tom. That is Tan Brady. Look at that. He was enjoying life in Tampa, Florida, right there. That is Tan Brady. They were. It's like they tried, and New Orleans, and you give New Orleans credit because this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to force Tampa to run the ball, to try to run the ball, and Tampa did. They tried to keep running the ball, and they had some success with it as the game went on. I think one of the things this week, I think he said he'll be good to go, but it is to monitor, is Antonio Brown him and Brady had really started connecting. I think up until that game last week against the Saints, Brown had caught like 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games, so they had really started connecting, and then Brown got hurt in the first half of that game. He tried to give it a go in the second half, and then they just had to pull him. So it'll be interesting to see how he is.
I think Jones
this weekend.
Also, Ronald Jones was really good for them all season, and he was banged up. And they said he could run, but just not full speed. And at one point, he broke one, got called back as a penalty, and he came up limping at the end of it. So Fournette was fine, but
you'd like to have both of those guys because they both can wear out a defensive line.
They're big parts of your offense.
Yeah, well, and Green Bay does not have nearly the rush defense that the Saints have. Green Bay is not a very good rush defense. That's a 49er fan I know from experience in last year's NFC Championship game. They're not great at defending the run. So, that is something to watch, too. If they have a healthy Jones and they can run with both of those guys.
In the AFC, you got your top 2 teams. Buffalo Bills will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Allen, last week's game, he thought in Buffalo it was as loud as it could get and got a lot of support from the fans.
It was unbelievable to have 6,700 people here and to force a few false starts and delay of games. And I mean, it was unbelievable to hear it, and I'm glad that they got to experience this again, kind of like last week. But this one was special for them. They know that, and we know that. But again, we got some more work to do next week.
More work this week is they have to go to Kansas City. It's too bad it couldn't have been a full house for Buffalo. I mean, what a great experience to finally be back after all those years of watching the Patriots dominate the AFC East, to finally get back. But great effort by Buffalo. I mean, I think I talked about it last week. I thought they learned a lot in week 1 of playoff football, and they came out and they played really well and just really controlled the game.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier with someone here today that I was kind of disappointed. Like, I know they won, but I thought the Bills were so hot coming into the postseason, and we all thought this is the team that's going to have this huge run. And they, that first week they kind of stumbled through it and they controlled it, but I didn't feel like they were like dominant or able to score at will. So I don't know if that Bills team still exists or if that's just something that you can't do in the playoffs against these really good teams.
They have looked vulnerable both weeks. They're up 17-3 in that game. Lamar Jackson throws his first career red zone interception that gets – it is a 101-yard return for touchdown. They needed that. And then Lamar gets hurt and goes out. And there's a 4th down play with Tyler Huntley in there, the rookie from Utah. And he has Hollywood Brown just running down the sidelines with no one within 15 yards of him, and Huntley overshoots him. And if he hits him, and Hollywood Brown now it's a 17-10 game going down the stretch, and it's wide open. Buffalo has looked vulnerable in both games, and the one spot where Kansas City's vulnerable is against the run. And Buffalo really didn't have a running back except for Josh Allen. So it'll be interesting to see if they use him in the run game this week.
Yeah, Buffalo 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, 4-0 against the number of their last 4 road games. The last 4 is an underdog. They have covered all 4. In their last 5, after having less than 250 yards previous game, have all gone under. Speaking of vulnerable, the Kansas City Chiefs have looked pretty vulnerable as well. They are on a roll of not covering games and not flipping that switch like many expected them to do. Here's Travis Kelce on getting to the title game.
We're going to find a way to drag our tail across that finish line, baby. That's what we're made of, man. We like I said, we just gathered. We rally the troops, and we play for each other, man. A lot of guys in here, that this matters to them. And when you got it in your heart, for the guy next to you, man, you can do special things. Thank you very much. Kingdom, baby. Way to show out today, baby.
Is that Archie playing in the background?
I think it was live in the club.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
That was
there.
We Ready. That's Archie.
Kansas City.
Ready. Yeah.
Kansas City is 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 games. They have failed to cover their last 5 at home. They've failed to cover their last 4 as a home favorite, failed to cover their last 5 against the AFC, have failed to cover their last 8 games that have been played on natural grass, and 4 of their last 5 against the AFC East have gone under. They have been vulnerable. Patrick Mahomes is going to play. I mean, let's not be silly about it.
If he doesn't get hurt in that game, you figure they probably cover that.
I don't know, because they haven't been. I mean, it was weird because last week they got off to a great start. First drive, right down the field, they score, and you're thinking, okay, this is the Chiefs are back.
Yeah, but then
they're going to turn it on, and they never really turned it on.
Then Henne comes in, and he's just like a total disaster. Whoa! You know, like it.
Until the play of the year.
Yeah, but that was like a first down. That wasn't even a score.
It was a 2-yard pass.
Yeah, like it wasn't like he couldn't barely move the ball. So like I felt like if Mahomes had stayed healthy, they'd be okay. And I feel like maybe this is the week. I don't know. I've been saying this for 3 weeks. Maybe this is the week they flip the switch and turn it on and show how dominant they can be. And they just, I don't know. They don't seem to have it in them.
I think with the thing with Mahomes, I don't think he had a concussion. First of all,
What do you think happened? He got lost.
Watch the replay.
Yeah, he couldn't stand up.
His head never hit the ground. He did not.
Somebody explained it as like a chokehold.
Jay Glazer explained it like
was?
Yes. Jay Glazer explained it like that. He was choked out. That's what happened.
I know. I'm just saying your head doesn't have to hit the ground for your brain to get shaken around.
Yeah, but I don't think he had a concussion. I think he got choked out, and that's.
I believe Dr. Jim Nance said that he did have a concussion,
and so he was,
and
so he was off balance, and I think the optics would have looked bad if he would have returned in that game. The injury to watch out for is his toe, because he was already limping around out there, up and down the field. He was limping. He hurt that toe in the first half, and he was limping up and down the field after that. I think that's the serious injury to look at.
Give me some Chad Henne, Tom Brady, Super Bowl, baby. Let's go. Oh, Mr. Quarterback. You're killing Chad Henne Lang.
He stunk.
He had like 2 possessions.
Yeah. How many points did
he was moving the ball down the field, then he just launched one right into their hands in the end zone. That was one pass that was
like
terrible.
The one time you want to take care of the ball.
But on 3rd and forever, my man ran and almost got that first down, and then followed it with a 4th down conversion. Chad, put some respect on Chadwick Henne's name. I'm assuming it's Chadwick. I don't know.
And the end of that game is one of the greatest why I hate second guessing of coaches, because Andy Reid doesn't get that 4th and 1. I still think he's crazy for going for it. I mean, that was unbelievable. With Chad Henne with Chad Henne as your quarterback, and you're not moving the ball, and it's 4th and 1 at the position on the field that you're in, that is an insane call. But good for him. It works, everything. He doesn't get it. Oh, my gosh. I mean, can you imagine the questions after the game, the questions going on a week?
They'd blame the enemy if they didn't
get it. No kidding. But so that was an unbelievable call. And while it's going on, I'm like, I can't believe he's doing this. I can't believe he's doing this. This is crazy. And I'm trying to think of why you would do it, and I'm thinking, this is still crazy. I understand why, but it's nuts.
My guess was, and I think Romo said something about this earlier, that they set up in the play, they look at the defense and see what's there, and if it's not there, you call a timeout, because they had a timeout to use. But he saw that it was wide open and was like, all right, the quarterback, it's like the quarterback's call. He's like, all right, we're going for this, go. But it's still, it's breathtaking to do it with that guy as your quarterback.
Yeah, and I would think the defense is, I would think the defense is in a mode of basically they're trying to draw us.
Yeah.
Because they could let the clock run out at the position they were at and even take the delay of game call. But, man, when they snapped it, I was like, what are they doing?
With 6 seconds left, an amazing play call from Andy Reid.
It was great.
An amazing play call. He went for the win. He's going for the win.
The Super Bowl odds, your favorite is Kansas City. Current odds at plus 200, though, so not an overwhelming favorite. Packers also at plus 200.
Yeah.
Season opening odds, Packers were plus 2,200, so if you got it before the season, good for you. Buffalo plus 325 and Tampa plus 425. So really not that bad. Not that beneficial on any of them unless you just want to take a shot at somebody.
I probably feel most confident in the Pack right now. Just because the Chiefs can't put anybody away, it feels like.
Pack might be playing their best ball of the year, too.
Yeah, Green Bay does look pretty good. The only thing that would worry me about them is they will let you get back in the game. They're the best first half scoring team in the NFL, but they're also like one of the worst second half scoring teams in the NFL because they get up so much and then they just will run the ball and sit on the lead. Tampa has the best rush defense in the NFL.
Yeah, Green Bay wasn't a great cover team this year at all because they let teams back into games so late, and you do that in the playoffs, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. All right, we'll take a break. Here on The Odds Couple, we'll come back. Lance Tiller's going to join us. We'll talk more about the conference championships coming up this week in the Shield. We're back with more here on Grind City Media.
And we welcome to the show Kyle Anderson, who I believe you are the elder statesman now. Are you the oldest dude in the gym?
Somebody called me one of the rookies called me the OG in the locker room.
The Chris Vernon Show, live daily on grindcitymedia.com, Grind City Media on YouTube, and the official Grizzlies mobile app. Subscribe and download daily episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud.
The Grizzlies debuted their City Edition uniforms, and they are the coolest City Edition uniforms.
Look at this beautiful black and gold.
Show me the glasses.
It's all the way right on the seam.
That's dope.
But that's how you know the detailing of it. That's pretty dope.
Oh, my nails are so gross.
Rise and Grind with Jessica and Megan. Live daily at 8 a.m. on grindcitymedia.com.
What's up, Grizzlies fans? I'm Megan Triplett, and I have some exciting news to share. We have a new app. That's right. It's a 3-in-1 experience that you don't want to miss out on. Check this out. The app will keep you up to date on all of the Grizzlies stats and latest news. If you're looking to see what events are going on at FedEx Forum, that can all be found on the app as well. Plus, if you want to see more of me and the rest of the Grind City Media team, like Chris Vernon, Lang Whitaker, and Mike Wallace, there's a section for all that. It is 365 days of content to keep you in touch with all things Grizzlies, FedEx Forum, and GCM. And did I mention you can also purchase and manage tickets on the app? The app does it all. Download it now.
Welcome back to grindcitymedia.com, live from FedEx Forum and the American Home Shield Studio. Now, here's more of the Odds Couple, Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Don't miss the newest Grind City Media show, Rise and Grind, with Jessica Benson and Megan Triplett. They bring a fresh, fun, and energetic double shot of morning vibes to catch you up on the latest in sports, entertainment, pop culture, and everything Memphis, with some completely biased, unfiltered discussions and a side of slightly above-average jokes. Tune in to grindcitymedia.com, Grind City Media on YouTube, or via the official Grizzlies mobile app to catch Jessica and Megan live, or download each episode daily and subscribe at iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud today. Welcome back, everyone, to the Odds Couple as we get you set for the conference championships coming up this weekend. Of course, last week, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady moves on to another conference championship, and in doing so, may have knocked Drew Brees out for the rest of his career. Here's Drew Brees talking about his future after the loss.
I'll answer this question one time, and that is that I'm going to give myself an opportunity to think about the season, think about a lot of things, just like I did last year, and make a decision. No complaints, no regrets. Man, I've always tried to play this game with a great respect and a great reverence for it. And I mean, I appreciate all that this game has given to me. There are obviously so many incredible memories, so many incredible relationships that have come as a result of playing this game. And I'd say this season probably had to fight through more than I've ever had to in any other season in my career. From injury to all the COVID stuff to just crazy circumstances. Man, it was worth every moment of it. Absolutely.
Drew Brees, following the loss to Tampa Bay. Joining us now from WJOX in Birmingham, co-host of The Roundtable. You can also get him on Twitter at the Lance Taylor and get his picks at lanceslock.com. Lance Taylor joins us here on The Odds Couple. Hello, Lance.
Good afternoon, fellas. I cannot believe we've got one more full weekend of the NFL, and then we get a week off, and I can't believe 3 more games, man.
It's unbelievable that we actually were able to get here, and not to mention that it's already over, which is incredible. Lance, hearing Drew Brees, it sounds like it's over. Certainly everybody's talking about it being over, and I think Drew Brees has been I think he's been underrated a little bit this week from national people. It seems like the Super Bowl championship is like the last thing that they bring up. They talk about all his numbers, but then they talk a lot about how he's looked and how he looked last weekend instead of starting with. The guy won a Super Bowl in New Orleans with a dreadful franchise and a franchise that went through Katrina, and it was one of the great stories.
They won a Super Bowl with an asterisk.
And they won it with an asterisk, yeah of course. Atlanta Falcons fan there.
Let me say this, man. The organization that I hate the most in any sports is the Saints. It's just, I'm such a Rams fan. You know, I grew up watching the old NFC West battles. I don't like Saints fans. I don't like anything about the organization, but I've always really respected Drew Brees. Now, I do think a lot of the numbers are maybe a little overblown just because of the friendly Sean Payton system he was in. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's obviously a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I know a lot of Saints fans, and if I'm a Saints fan, the weak link of that team this year was Drew Brees. I mean, the arm was dead. I mean, Kamara is one of the best running backs in the NFL. I know Michael Thomas was hurt. That defense was one of the top 5 units in the NFL. And I just look back the last 4 years, the walk-off against Diggs in Minnesota in the divisional round, the controversial no call against my Rams in the NFC Championship game, the no call on the Kyle Rudolph possible push-off in overtime last year. And then this year, if Jared Cook doesn't fumble the ball, I think they go up 10 or 14, and I think they hang on and beat Tampa. So if you are a Saints fan, although you did get that one championship, and it's amazing because we all knew how bad the Saints were at one time, that's a great accomplishment, but I just feel like there was more out there if I was a Saints fan. And the unfortunate thing, I think most of us know that Drew's best football is way behind him, and it's time to move on. But Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston doesn't seem like a really good answer to me.
I heard little rumors that they may get into Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. If they get into Deshaun Watson discussion,
good luck with that.
And if they got him,
what are they
New Orleans automatically becomes the favorite in the NFC.
I believe
next
the
year.
Saints are $95 million over the salary cap next year and have 4 picks in the draft, and that's all. So, and their assistant GM Terry
Roser, don't even tell me that. That would be a complete nightmare. What we need to do, the Rams, Stan Kroenke needs to give half of his fortune to whoever. The Houston Texans to make some kind of ridiculous trade because the Houston Texans they're in the market to make ridiculous trades, and Deshaun Watson needs to become a Ram.
That's not happening. No, because it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo and 3 first-round picks, and he's going to be a 49er.
No. Actually, I heard a rumor in my head that the Atlanta Falcons were going to make a move, bring Deshaun Watson home to Atlanta, give him Matt Ryan, let him go.
Any of those organizations outside of the Jets, which people have mentioned, I mean, Deshaun Watson can win a championship. The guy is the prototypical NFL quarterback that you want right now. And, we went back through this exercise before Alabama won their 6th national championship under Nick Saban a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about best quarterbacks to face Nick Saban in a championship game. And as good as Trevor Lawrence was in that one ridiculous blowout of Alabama, Deshaun Watson in back-to-back years, even in the loss, was one of the best college quarterbacks I've ever seen. And he's been really that good at the next level. And the Texans were dumb enough to trade DeAndre Hopkins, and Will Fuller wasn't healthy at all times. And if you put him with the right organization and a healthy defense, J.J. Watt, a lot of times, he wasn't healthy. Yeah. I mean, I just can't even imagine Deshaun Watson with the right parts around him.
Yeah. Another rumor, my Chiefs. Nah, we're fine. Chiefs are fine. We don't need anybody. Chiefs this week, they got the Buffalo Bills. This is a heck of a matchup, and we said, I think you said it last week, and we all said it. We were waiting for the Chiefs to just kind of flip that switch and look like the Chiefs and what we expect to see of them, and they really didn't. Now Mahomes got hurt. That certainly is a part of it, but can they flip it this week? Do they need to?
Rob, I don't know. I was on the Chiefs. It dropped down to 8. I felt really good before Patrick Mahomes goes out with a concussion, and I really believe they would have gone on. They would have won that game by, 14, 17 points. They would have covered that game. This is an interesting matchup for me because I said before the playoffs I thought the Bills were the most complete team. I thought the Buffalo Bills were going to not only, make a little noise in the postseason, I thought that they would win the Lombardi, win their first ever Super Bowl. And now this number's sitting at KC3. Seems like the public is with me on Buffalo. I'm one of these contrarians. I like fading the public. I do think there's a lot of appeal with this over 54. And I think we're going to see a ton of scoring in this game. So I feel a lot better playing the total here, playing the over 54. I'm bullish on the Bills because I've got the Bills 8-1 to win the Super Bowl before the postseason. The right play here, the right play doesn't always hit. But the right play is Kansas City minus the 3 points. But I'm going to play the over 54 here.
In the other one, we have Brady and we have Rodgers. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Lance, that I've gotten myself in the mode since that game last week that how do I go against Tom Brady? And how it just seems that he'll find a way to get there.
Well, it's 28-16, 28 the high, 16 the low at Lambeau with a 50% chance of snowstorms on Sunday. That's not ideal Tampa Bay weather, but the good news is Tom Brady is one of the greatest, bad weather quarterbacks that we've seen with all of his experience in New England. Tampa Bay 0-8 all-time in Lambeau with temperatures under 32 degrees. I've got a feeling, though, Tampa Bay plus the 3.5 is the right way. If you go back watching my Rams against Green Bay last Saturday, such a frustrating game. You guys saw it. Aaron Donald might have been 50%. There was no push up front, and when you take away maybe the best player in the NFL, it just changed the dynamic of that defense. And the Rams were playing with a 9-fingered quarterback. They were playing without their best wide receiver in Cooper Kupp, and it was still a 7-point game with 6.5 minutes to go. A.J. Dillon had just fumbled the ball, and if Aaron Rodgers isn't in perfect position, the Rams get a scoop and score, and that game's tied with 6 minutes to go. So I believe a healthy Tampa, although they didn't play well against New Orleans this past week, they forced a lot of turnovers. I think Tampa goes in, live dog situation. I like Tampa plus the 3. I think they win the game outright.
No, you're absolutely right about the dominant pass rusher thing. I mean, you go back to the Super Bowl last year. If Mahomes doesn't make the miracle comeback, Nick Bosa wins Super Bowl MVP. That's how dominant he was in that game. And then, you talk about Aaron Donald being 50%. We saw it in the Chiefs-Browns game last Sunday. When Myles Garrett had to go out of the game, the Chiefs immediately went 5 wide and emptied the backfield and everything. When Myles Garrett was in that game, they always kept extra protection back there because they knew they couldn't block him one-on-one.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Tampa had 5 sacks, earlier this season in a complete rout of Green Bay. I know the conditions are going to be a little different. Green Bay is obviously playing better football. They're running the football. But I've just got that feeling, man. And it's so cheesy that Tampa, they acquired Tom Brady, and everybody talks about this team's got a legitimate chance of winning a championship. I really never saw it in the offseason. I knew he was going to have a lot more weapons in Tampa. And I still do think whoever wins the AFC, whether it's Kansas City or Buffalo, is going to win the Super Bowl. But I do think Tampa will be there.
It'll be interesting. Lance, how are we doing in basketball at lanceslock.com?
Well, Rob, I'm trying to be transparent with you. Not good. I mean, I'll give you some examples. We had Texas on Saturday against Kansas State, 27-point second half lead, laying 17 to win the game by 15. You guys saw Big Monday. Had Baylor minus 8.5. Up 15 with a minute to go, and a walk-on hits a half-court shot after a turnover with no time left to cover by a half point. That's the kind of week it's been, but it'll turn. Basketball, it's a long season. The NBA college hoops.
You got Wichita.
It's been a bad week.
You got Wichita against Memphis.
Look, Memphis 1-9 against the number. I'm not afraid to play Memphis in this situation. They're going to turn against the number as well. But hey, look, I try to be transparent. You can't win them all. I've been doing this a long time. We will consistently win for you, though. This thing will turn $90 for everything. Sides, totals, the NBA, college hoops, obviously the AFC and NFC Championship, Super Bowl coming up. Jump on board, lanceslock.com. That's lanceslock.com.
Awesome. Lance, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it as always.
See you guys.
All right, buddy. Lance Taylor joining us from Birmingham.
How about Memphis football and basketball on the season?
Rough.
Yeah.
Against the
Really
number.
bad
It's
against
been
the
brutal.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least Memphis covered their last two. Memphis football covered their last two games, didn't they? Yeah.
One more thing about Drew Brees. I saw a stat the other day. I can't let this go. But I saw a stat the other day that he made about $250 million in salary over the course of his career, more than Tom Brady. How many rings did he have?
Wow.
Yeah.
But he did.
Well, Brady also always restructured his contract. Brady was always restructuring his contract to take less money so they could bring in more guys.
Well, Brady
How many rings
also,
does Rodgers have?
Brady also probably got a lot more in terms of endorsement stuff. But
Brady's married to Giselle. She's bank. That's big bank right there. You don't need money when you're winning.
She's worth more than he is.
One of my best friends is a huge Saints fan, and we just troll each other constantly.
Sure.
The video of Drew Brees throwing the pass Tom Brady throwing the pass to Drew Brees' kid, I was like, well, it's because Brees couldn't throw it that far. But I was talking to him after the game, and he said the Saints, if you think about it, are kind of like the Braves. They won the one title in that stretch. They were really good for that whole time, and just weird stuff happened, and they managed to get one, but you still kind of feel, man, we should have had more than one, like Braves fans feel from winning the division 15 years in a row. And I think the Saints, there's probably a little bit of regret there. I think Brees hasn't been the problem for this year. It's been 2 years. They were undefeated last year when he got hurt and went out, and Bridgewater came in.
Right.
And now this year, he was clearly the problem with the offense in the game this week.
Couldn't imagine him coming back.
No.
He just looks like
he's going to go to. He's going to go to work. I mean, I think Ian Rappaport's already said it that he is retired.
He already has a deal, right?
He's going to go work at NBC. Yeah. I mean, I think Ian Rappaport tweeted that the other day. He said Phillip Rivers now retires, Drew Brees retires. So, I mean, I think he may not have come out and officially announced it and had like a press conference, his little farewell press conference. But he's done, and I think he knows it.
Bucks linebacker Devin White was asked this week.
He is awesome.
He is awesome, and this is an awesome bite. He was asked about Tampa's defense and how good they were last week.
Everybody always asks what was our identity. And, we didn't have an answer. But Coach B.A., he had an answer. He said, we some we're going to find a way to win the game. And that was the best thing that I ever heard, because I even was on Good Morning Football, and they asked me the same thing. And I didn't really know. I said we was going to figure it out, but when he said that, it kind of clicked. And in this league, the only thing that matters is winning. So with him saying that, man, I think that did it for everybody.
It is amazing when you see teams this time of year, when they have games like you saw last week, how much you think of their defense and how much their defense comes to play. Tampa's defense looked great last week.
He probably had the play that sticks in my mind from all those games last week. That interception where he caught it and then just whoever the offensive player was on the stage just punched him in the helmet. The guy flew backwards like 5 yards. That to me was the play that stuck out, and I think probably changed a lot of people's opinion of the Bucs defense.
Yeah, that was a Derrick Henry stiff arm, man. Yeah. I mean, Devin White, he was everywhere in that game. He's an absolute monster.
Yeah, he was unbelievable, and it was a big win for the Bucs.
We should have seen it coming. He was amazing at LSU too.
Right. We'll have our picks for the week coming up when we return here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
What about them Clippers? They got the 50.
TA, you played on the team that got dropped by 52. So
No. I didn't. I never been on the court.
I'll be over here like
and lost by 50. I was sitting in the suit.
Tony Allen, you did play that game.
You played 12 minutes in that game.
You played 12. You were 0 for 6.
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on grindcitymedia.com or wherever you get your podcast.
Once a week, get your basketball fix with Talkin' Grizz, featuring me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, and media from around the NBA as we discuss draft topics, prospects, and more. Connect with Grind City Media on all their social channels, subscribe to Grind City Media YouTube, and follow Grind City Media on Twitter and Instagram to stay up to date with all things Grizzlies.
In everything we do, defensive activity, offensive execution, play together, have an edge about us. Just play with an edge. Play with an edge and play together.
Durant, for Jaron, blocked by James. Dylan Brooks with authority. Tyus Jones to Brandon Clark. A turn and gun. He got it. Jones for three. Jones blocked by Jaron.
Yeah, stay together, Bruce. Stay together. Way to roll me, kid. Let's leave it out there.
Down the rim with elevation.
The Grizzlies debuted their City Edition uniforms, and they are the coolest City Edition uniforms.
Look at this beautiful black and gold.
Show me the glasses.
It's all the way like right on the seam.
That's dope. But that's how you know the detailing of it. Like, that's pretty dope.
Oh, my nails are so gross.
Rise and Grind with Jessica and Megan. Live daily at 8 a.m. on grindcitymedia.com. Welcome back to The Odds Couple on grindcitymedia.com. Live from FedEx Forum and the American Home Shield Studio. Here's The Odds Couple, Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hey, get your daily sports, pop culture, and Grizz fix with insider news and commentary on all things sports and more with the Chris Vernon Show. Live at noon, Monday through Friday. Tune in to grindcitymedia.com, Grind City Media on YouTube, or via the official Grizzlies mobile app. Catch Chris live or download each episode daily and subscribe at iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud today. Welcome back to The Odds Couple. Conference Championship weekend in the National Football League. You have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Matt LaFleur is the head coach of the Packers. Talks about his team being physical.
You know, our guys went out there with a mentality that, you know, we were going to be physical, and I thought that showed through, and really in all three phases. So, you know, obviously we'll enjoy it tonight, but we know that we're going to have a really tough opponent coming into our place for the NFC Championship game.
Green Bay has won 15 of the last 16 at home against Tampa Bay. They've also covered 2 of the last 3 meetings, and the home team has covered 5 of the last 7 between these two teams. This is the game of the week, right? I mean, it's the quarterback battle, the frozen tundra. I mean, everything. This is AFC or NFC Championship football, right?
I guess. I mean, it's funny because football has become such a non-contact game, and the quarterbacks drop back. They never get hit. You get in trouble if you hit a guy. It's played on turf, and they're running up and down the field. And this is sort of feels like a throwback kind of atmosphere on the frozen ground, and they're all talking about being physical, and Devin White's talking. And
sounds like an AFC game.
Like
maybe that's why I made a mistake.
Like a hard-nosed type of old-school thing. So I think both these games are going to be a lot of offense, like Lance said. So that's my take.
I just can't wait. I can't wait because, yeah, you do have a team in Tampa that has not done well when they've gone to the cold weather, but you've got a quarterback who has played his entire career except this year in cold weather, and he's a great leader. I'm interested, and it's 2 of the best quarterbacks of all time with him and Rodgers. The interesting, Rodgers will take if Rodgers can win and then win the Super Bowl, Rodgers takes a leap into that. Okay, we're talking about a top 5 quarterback of all time now because he will have that second Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. In the other matchup in the AFC, you got the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen talking about defense, and the defense stepping up for Buffalo.
It was a fun one to be a part of. Obviously, there's some things we can clean up. But at the end of the day, it's the playoffs. You win or you go home. And our team found a way. Our defense stepped up. Taron Johnson, the play just changed the game. Unbelievable. And the way our defense stopped the run, the game plan was executed to perfection. And, offensively, we got to do a better job, but our defense stepped up. And again, that's playoff football. It doesn't matter how it looks. You either get it done or you don't. Our team got it done today.
The Bills got it done. Bills have gotten it done in Kansas City in the past as well. In the last 6 meetings at Arrowhead, Buffalo has covered 5 of those last 6. Road team has covered 8 of the last 10 in this matchup. It is a small line at just 3 points for Kansas City. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under as well. Time for our picks this week. I'll go ahead and get it started with Fish's 5. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm a Tom Brady believer. I think he's playing. For how much we talk about how great Aaron Rodgers is playing, Tom Brady, I think, is playing just as well. I'm going with the Bucs plus the 4 at Green Bay. I like the under in both games. I agree with you. A lot of points, but I don't think it's going to be that high. We've seen it kind of in the playoffs so far. Under has really been the play so far in this postseason. I'm going with both road teams and both underdogs, and I think they both win straight up. I'm going with the Bills to win at Arrowhead as well. And because I like the Buccaneers, I'll take Tom Brady with more passing yards than Aaron Rodgers. Lang?
It would be cool to see the Buccaneers win and actually play at home in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, how about that?
Which has never happened,
No.
I think. So that seems like kind of fitting for the year we've had to actually just shelter in place and play at home.
Right.
But I think Green Bay is better than Tampa Bay, and I think they win. And this might be another one of those games where Tampa Bay falls behind a couple touchdowns early. It's freezing cold. They're just like, screw it. And Green Bay scores a whole bunch of points and runs it up. I think I'm taking the over. I think Kansas City, I just keep betting on them to finally flip the switch and show everyone that they're one of these teams that deserves to be the best team in the NFL. And maybe I think they do it this week. Buffalo just keeps letting me down week after week. I keep wanting them to show out and have a big performance, and they're kind of So I'll go with KC, and I'll take the over, and I think Aaron Rodgers, he's at home. He knows how to do this. He's going to be fine. He has more yards than Tom Brady. Roser.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus the 4. I actually have taken Tampa Bay plus the 4 already. I'm going to go with the under. I'm not super confident in it, but I can see maybe, I think, like a 24-21 game. I think we can get something like that, which would go under. Rob, I don't know why you're going against your team and taking Buffalo. It doesn't make any sense to go against your own team.
I know.
But I'm going to take. I'm just going to take Kansas City because I feel stupid if I don't take him, even though I probably would have made a lot of money if I would just bet against them every week because they never cover. Yeah. I'm with Lang. I love the over in this game. I think a lot of points are to be scored here, and I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers because I think the Buccaneers are going to be able to run the ball a little bit, and I don't think Green Bay is going to be able to run the ball. Tampa's got the best rush defense, number 1 rushing defense in the league. I don't think they're going to have success with Aaron Jones on the ground. I think Tampa will have success, so Rodgers is going to have to air it out more.
CJ?
Give me Tom Brady. I think the Bucs win that one straight up. I really like where they're playing. They're hot right now. Packers are hot also, but I think with Tom Brady at the helm, that's a different sort of confidence you have with somebody there who's been there, done that. So give me the Bucs in that one straight up, but I'll take the points. Don't get me wrong. I like the over in that game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I hate to say it. I'm off of that Bills bandwagon this week. It's been a hell of a ride, though. The Believer Bills have been great, but give me Kansas City in that one, especially if Patrick Mahomes is healthy. You brought up the toe, Rosen. I was concerned about the toe as well, but even with the toe injury, he was still taking that team up and down the field at will.
Yeah.
So if he plays, the Chiefs should be fine. And if not, I'll take Chad Henne leading the way. Why not? I will also take the over in that game. A lot of points are going to be scored there. And because Rodgers will be playing catch-up, I think Rodgers has more passing yards than Tom Brady.
It's weird. We all kind of agreed that the Packers are probably the hottest team right now. They're playing at home. Aaron Rodgers is healthy, and 3 of you guys picked against them in the.
Because Tom will do that to you. He's mesmerizing. Did you see the picture?
Yeah, Tan Brady.
Tan Brady. Mesmerizing.
It's to me. It's just because they're getting 4. Like I took it right when it came out at 4 because I was like, it's people love to bet on Tom Brady. This line's only going to go down, and it's down to 3.5, and it may end up going down to 3 at some point, or maybe somebody comes in and buys back Green Bay, but.
That might be me.
Yeah, you ain't gonna wager enough to be able to buy it back.
That's gonna do it for this week's edition of The Odds Couple. Thank you for joining us. We got the conference championship games in the Shield this weekend. Should be a lot of fun. We will be off next week because there's no game to look at. There's no Pro Bowl, unfortunately. But we will be back in 2 weeks to talk Super Bowl with you. As looking forward to that. Will I be wearing my Chiefs gear then and pick against them again? We'll see. That'll do it for us. For Lang, for Roser, for CJ, for Kimball, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us here on The Odds Couple. Enjoy the action. We'll talk to you prior to the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks.
Been listening to The Odds Couple from the American Home Shield Studio on grindcitymedia.com. Tune in next week for more football handicapping with Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.